Hey guys, welcome back to a new vlog. And let me just start off by saying, wow, we got new lighting installed in our kitchen, recessed lighting, and it makes all the difference. It is so much brighter in here, so much more warm. Before we had like that rectangle shaped fluorescent light, which was kind of just like stale and a bit cold in here, but just so much of a difference. Kitchen is a bit messy right now. 4 lights were plenty. We still have to patch up that area in the middle, but just love the way that it turned out. Anywho, I'm about to get another vlog started. Fig sent me some new scrubs. They have like their holiday collection coming out. So they have the electric blue. They sent me that with the under scrub. So just gonna take some photos in that. I'm off today, then work the next 3 days in a row, I think. It's November 1st. We're in November now. Very, very crazy that we're already in November. The year has flown by. No complaints over here though. Photos complete. The weather is so nice out here. It is definitely getting into the holiday spirit. Got the Christmas lights and decor up over there. I am ready for it to get a bit more cooler down here in Florida though. Alright, so I have a couple work projects that I want to work on. One is a required quality improvement project that we all have to do. You have to do it as part of your residency. So working on that project a little bit today. Kind of noisy. And then the second thing is something I'm doing on my own. I am doing a research project. During third year we get to choose from a couple of electives, and there's an option for a research elective. And essentially, if you do this, it's a month off. Obviously, you have to do a project, but I'm going to work on that project now during my second year. And then when third year rolls around, I'll have a whole month off, essentially. So yeah, planning ahead a little bit. My research topic, my project is about essentially mental health in residency and how we can better support residents and better learn about what residents are going through to create a better environment for residents. I think it's time to move on from the mindset of, oh, you know, excuse me, of, oh, we all went through it, you just have to pay your time, pay your dues, things like that. Like, we need to make a better environment for residents to train in. I don't know if you guys are aware now, but there's a lot of physician suicide going on, and it's unacceptable at the end of the day. So my project is focuses on mental health and the experiences of residents, and how residency programs can now understand what residents are going through and create a better environment for them and provide better resources for them. So I am meeting with my program director sometime this month because she's the one that's helping me with my project. So before we meet, I've been tasked with just doing my own research and finding some papers that are similar to the kind of project that I want to create. So I'm gonna look for about 3 to 4, send these to her, then we will schedule a time in November to meet and to essentially kickstart the project. It is 7 o'clock already. I'll just spend maybe half an hour more on this, and I'm just gonna chill for the rest of the evening. Whew. Good morning, guys. 6:38. What a difficult start to the morning. I hit snooze literally 3 times. First of all, I went to sleep way too late last night. I know I'm not a morning person, and I have the 7 a.m. shift, so it is always a struggle to get up and get going. Usually when I'm up and out the door and I finally get to work, I'm usually like okay and awake, but it's just that getting out of bed part and just starting the day is usually tough. Ooh, but I'm up. Need to try to eat some breakfast. I'm working at the freestanding ER today, so there is no like main hospital with cafeteria and all that, so I need to eat here before I go. Packing my lunch with me as well. It's gonna be a good day. Oh, my camera battery's about to die. Alrighty, let's get this day started, y'all. All right, made a little bagel here. Got my lunch. At the main ER, I don't pack my lunch anymore because we eat free there. Oh, you can't even see me. Yeah, I don't pack my lunch when I go to the main ER because we eat for free there. I always go to the cafe to get food, but at the freestanding ER, it's a freestanding ER. There's no like hospital connected to it, so there is no food or anything. So I always pack my lunch and try to eat a breakfast before I head there. Whew. Y'all, I am tired. It's past 5 o'clock. We got off on time, got off at 4. It was a pretty steady day. It wasn't super busy. And afterwards I went to meet up with my program director so we could discuss the research project a bit more. It's a lot more that's going into this project, but yeah, still looking forward to tackling some mental health and wellness and all that. I look so sleepy right now. The fact that I got up so early, I had to drink coffee at work. And I'm not even a coffee person, but I was just so sleepy this morning. So, I need to eat something. I'm gonna rest a little bit and I am determined to make it to the gym tonight. So changing into workout clothes right now will definitely increase my chances of making it to the gym tonight. So that is what I've done. All right, made it to the gym. Good morning, guys. I'm back with another early 7 a.m. shift at the freestanding ER. Hoping for a quick day today, and then tonight it's going to be interview happy hour. It is currently interview season. Hey guys, I'm back home. It's like 6:30. I'm getting ready to head to the interview happy hour. So we are like in full swing of interview season. Fortunately, with COVID and all that, interview season is again virtual this year. So it kind of sucks. Like, applicants are definitely missing out. I just remember during my interview season, it was nice to go to each city, go to the pre-interview dinners, get to see the city, get to hang out with the residency, get a vibe and see a better feel of like what the program is like and what the city is like. But unfortunately, with interview season being virtual again this year, we're doing a lot of like virtual like interactions as well. So we do like these instead of pre-interview dinners, we're doing these happy hours. So the few of the residents come together on Zoom with all the applicants and just have essentially like a happy hour, and then we have like food and drinks and things like that. So I'm heading over to one of my co-residents' house who's going to host the happy hour tonight. Good morning, guys. Almost afternoon. It is Friday. I'm off today. I worked yesterday evening, 3 to midnight shift. There was a lot of sick patients, a couple intubations, a few procedures. It was a good shift overall though. But today I plan to go get my admissions done to renew my tag. Since it's November, it's my birthday month. And obviously I have a Georgia, my car is registered in Georgia. And I don't drive to Atlanta. When I go, I always fly. So I'm like, I'm not gonna drive this car 4.5 hours just to get, you know, my emissions and my tag renewed. So I'm like, okay, I'm in North Florida. It's right on the border of Georgia. Let me just drive across like maybe over an hour, hour and a half to like Valdosta and get my emissions, and I could just do my tag online. So I called ahead this morning. I was like, to a couple of places. I was like, do y'all do admissions? And they're like, admissions is not required in South Georgia to renew your tag. And obviously I can't get my tag renewed in Valdosta because I'm not registered there. So I'm like, damn, what am I gonna do now? Like, I do not want to drive this car back up to Atlanta to do my admissions. So I need to figure that out. My birthday is November 18th, so I have until December 18th to get it done. And I literally asked them, I was like, okay, so where's the nearest place closest to South Georgia that I can get an admissions done? And they're like, Atlanta. They're like, only North Georgia requires admissions to get your tag renewed. One option, which is what I did last year, is that Stanley, whenever he comes down to Florida, he actually drives. And so when he came down, he drove my car back to Atlanta and did like my emissions and my tag for me, then just drove it back down. So that's always another option as well. Anywho, I'm getting my day started, making a little breakfast, some bacon, some eggs. Gonna do some grocery shopping today, meal prep, gym, and then some research work. Alright guys, so today's emergency medicine teaching point is going to be about strokes. Strokes can be pretty scary, and they can have major consequences if you miss a stroke, because time is brain and it could really leave, you know, long-lasting debilitating features for some of these patients that have strokes. So the way that it works in our emergency department, when a stroke is coming in via EMS, a stroke alert will be called, and we're all going to get that message to our phone saying a stroke alert is arriving. They give their estimated time of arrival. We all then meet in a certain area of the emergency department. The ED physician as well as the stroke neurology team will meet down there. They'll assess the patient, do a quick you know, physical, and then they're off to the CT scanner. They get a CT brain, CT head and neck, CT perfusion, possibly one or all three of those CT imagings, just depending on how the patient presents and their time of presentation. So essentially you'll do a neurology exam. Certain presenting symptoms can be dizziness. It could be weakness on one side. It can be slurred speech, some kind of abnormal speech, facial droop, you know, numbness and tingling, eye abnormalities, you know, vision, changes in vision, what else? Headaches. Like, all of these things can present as a stroke. So you have to be very keen to know what are certain physical exam findings to possibly give you that diagnosis of a stroke. After they go to the CT imaging, to the CT scanner and get their imaging, they could possibly have a stroke. So that's either an ischemic stroke for maybe like some kind of blood clot, or a hemorrhagic stroke, so that's a brain bleed. So let's today talk about hemorrhagic strokes and how to manage that. All right, so you get that call from the radiologist, they read the report back to you, a brain bleed is seen, or you pull up the image yourself and bam, you see bright white, and so you know this patient has a brain bleed. What do you do next? In the past, recently, I've had 2 patients present with as a stroke alert. They both ended up having a intraparenchymal hemorrhage, a brain bleed. One of them was seizing, one of them was just completely unresponsive. So the one that was seizing, you know, we gave Keppra 2, which is an anti-epileptic. It raised the head of the bed 30 to 40 degrees. Called neurosurgery. Neurosurgery actually took this patient to the OR. They did a craniotomy and you know, evacuation, decompression. And so the whole thing with a brain bleed is there's only so much space that the blood has to go into your brain until the pressure really starts to increase. And when that happens, you could possibly herniate. So that means the brain contents are going down, and that has obviously lasting consequences. So you want to control that intracerebral pressure. So you want to make sure the blood pressure is not too high. So blood pressure control, start the nicardipine drip. So I'm going to start a nicardipine drip on this patient. I placed an arterial line for hemodynamic monitoring that better allows you to get a more accurate blood pressure reading. Elevated the head of the bed, gave anti-epileptic medication, usually load them with a gram of Keppra. Obviously, you call neurosurgery, and this patient needs to be admitted to the ICU for further management and monitoring. So the key here, get neurosurgery involved early. They may take them to the OR, they may not. They may just be managed medically, like controlling the blood pressure. The main thing is making sure that intracerebral pressure is not too high. You don't want this patient to herniate. So controlling the blood pressure, elevating the head of the bed is another way to control the blood pressure. You don't want them laying back like that because that's going to increase the pressure in the brain. So elevating the head of the bed, giving them the blood pressure medications, giving them the anti-epileptic medications because you don't want them having a seizure. That is essentially the management that you're going to do for brain bleeds. On the other hand, ischemic strokes, which happens when there is a lack of blood flow in the brain, possibly due to a clot, they will get TPA, which is a clot busting drug, but they will only get it if it's indicated. They have to be they have to present within a certain time window, the TPA window, and there's some other things like you couldn't have a recent bleed, you can't be on anticoagulation. So if you fit the proper criteria for an ischemic stroke, you'll get TPA. And with ischemic strokes, they allow what we call permissive hypertension. Because there's a lack of the blood flow going to the brain, you will allow the blood pressure to be elevated a bit to allow that cerebral blood flow. So intracranial bleed, ischemic stroke, two different managements, but you definitely need to know what to look out for if these patients are presenting to the emergency department. There's a few things that I want to read up on for myself today that I saw recently in the past couple of shifts. One is HHS, which is hyperosmolar hyperglycemic state. Essentially, your blood glucose is through the roof. It can cause like altered mental status. These patients are very volume depleted. Ended up sending this patient to the ICU. So I'm just going to read up a little bit on the management for that. But essentially, insulin, hydrate since they're so volume depleted. And then splenic artery thrombosis, the first time I've seen that. So I'm going to read up on the management for that as well. And I didn't consistently start doing this until my second year. And it's hard, you know, your first year, your intern year is just adjusting to being an intern, you know, being a new doctor, adjusting to seeing patients and managing patients. You're not always going to come home and read up on what you saw. But I'm definitely consistently doing this much more during my second year, and it just helps so much more as far as building your knowledge base and becoming comfortable, you know, with managing these patients. Hey y'all, it is a few days later. Had this morning off. I am going in this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Just got a surprise package from Figs. It's always nice receiving this at my doorstep, and it is some loungewear, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. Ooh, so nice, so comfy. Anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this vlog. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, give it a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.